Is this a watch or a fidget spinner? What if I told you it's actually both? Let's have a closer look at the M.A.D. Edition's M.A.D.1 Red. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Alex, and in this video we're going to take a closer look at a spaceship on the wrist, something more funky, a bit more playful, and most definitely a conversation starter. The brand M.A.D. Editions is a sub-brand to the independent watchmaking brand MB&f that was started by the talented and very important independent watchmaker Max Busser. Usually independent watchmaking comes with a price tag that most of us can't afford, but Max had an idea that he wanted to create something a bit more achievable and affordable that, the guys that really enjoy his work and his pieces could actually afford to buy. So last year they launched the M.A.D. Editions, which is a more playful take on the, MB&f pieces, but in a cheaper and more affordable packaging, but that still contains a lot of the DNA that we see in the more expensive MB&f pieces. So just to give you an example of the MB&f pricing, we're talking about, like $50,000 and upwards for the pieces. And this one comes in at a fraction of the price. I'll get back to the price in a bit. So initially they released a blue edition of this watch that was reserved for friends and family and members of the tribe, which is basically already, customers of MB&f. And it was a success and many did want one. So they later launched the red edition, which is the one featured in this video, that was available through a lottery on their homepage. So it was basically a raffle where you could sign up to be able to purchase one for yourself. The lottery is right now closed. I wouldn't be surprised if they open it up again for the specific red edition, or if they will launch something else in the future. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess, but I wouldn't be surprised to see something new from M.A.D. Editions. And I'm looking forward actually to see what they have up their sleeve, because usually it's something along these lines, something very funky, futuristic, and definitely a conversation starter piece. So you might wonder, what are we looking at here? And from a first glance, it's not super obvious. This watch is not a conventional watch in the sense that you have a dial with hands. So the first thing you meet is actually the movement with its rotor. This is a driver's watch, and this is something we have seen in previous horological machines, as they call them at MB&f, with a different type of time indication. So what you have to do here is actually tilt the watch so you can see these two circles on the case that indicates hours and minutes. Imagine holding a steering wheel like this, like that. Depends on how you wear, maybe having it like this if you drive a Beamer. But then you can clearly see on the case side the indication of the time. So the watch itself, or the fidget spinner or spaceship, call it whatever you want. It is a 42 millimeter in diameter watch. It measures 18.8 millimeters thick, so it's a chunky one. But all considered the measurement, it's still quite wearable, I must say. The lugs are quite short. It's not one of those pieces that you're supposed to wear with a suit, for example, so it doesn't slide under your cuff, but it's definitely one of those pieces you want to wear if you want to start a conversation with someone. It's in stainless steel, and it has these lugs that are tilted upwards, which gives you a feeling of something like a platform for the spaceship, so to say. So you can see the four lugs pointing upwards. You have the case on top of that. Spaceship on the wrist, definitely. On my wrist, you can see how it wears here. I have a 6.5 inch wrist, or 16.5 centimeters. So it's a chunky piece, but it's not unwearable, I'd say. You have the crown at 12 o'clock to set the time. And this watch is definitely not for you guys that has to keep, track of every seconds of the time. This is a bit more of a fun, playful piece. So you can see that there are no marks for the exact minutes, so you basically get a hunch of what time it is. Basically, when you set it with the crown at 12 o'clock, the circles start to spin, and the black one is for the hours and the red one is for the minutes. All the numerals, the rotor, and also the small pointer has superluminova, so you can easily read the time in the dark as well, and it looks pretty damn cool in the dark as well, this piece. When it comes to the movement, we have a Miyota base movement caliber 821A that's a bit reworked. They have turned it upside down. The rotor is customized. It's a titanium and tungsten rotor. This one spins like a fidget spinner on the wrist when you want to, and when you don't want to, it spins a bit on its own will, so to say. Always something happening with the watch, and it really, gives you this feeling of a propeller from a helicopter or a spaceship or whatever, So they've really captured that emotion in this watch, I'd say. So when it comes to the price, this watch was offered at the lottery for a price of 2,900 Swiss franc, which is approximately 3,000 euros, and this is excluding VAT and taxes. So if you live inside the European Union, as I do, for example, you are subject to import taxes and duties. So I'd say a bit above that, depending on your location, of course. And if you look at the secondary market, because there are a lot of those listed at the secondary market, there was a huge initial hype that has died out a bit. These could be found around the 5k euro mark. I'd probably buy one at retail if I was to buy one. I still think it's a fun watch, and if you don't want to wait, there's, you know, around 5k, you could probably get it for a bit cheaper. So it's close to retail with the taxes included. Let me know what you think about the watch, if it's something you could see yourself rocking on the wrist. It's definitely a conversation starter. It's definitely not for everyone. I believe it's a fun piece, and I believe it's a nice change that very established and kind of prestigious, actually, independent watchmaking brand actually takes a grip and produce something more affordable so more people can enjoy bits of their DNA in a cheaper packaging. All right, guys, that's it for this time. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.